Today is an exciting day. This is the official reveal video for what is being referred to as the new 32, a very specific tool, a cane, for the new American cane boxing curriculum. And we're gonna jump into it right now. I know that some of you already own one because if you are a member of any of our courses, the Cane at Home 6-Week Challenge, Cane Tribe Remote Caner, Cane Self-Defense University, undoubtedly you've heard the buzz. And well, we've been shipping these, but this is the official breakdown video, and I'll also show the practicality and functionality of this tool and why we created something so specific for this curriculum. For starters, it's referred to as a 32 because it's 32 inches. So your standard cane is 36. And what I want to show you here is that this is all by design. We wanted a cane that wasn't too short that security would raise a brow, because if you're holding something like a mini that's a 24, obviously, why do you need that cane? But its tip still comes to the floor. So what you're going to do when you order this is you are going to subtract 4 inches from whatever you carry. So if you're carrying a 38-inch cane, then you're going to order a 34. That's how it works. That's how we've tested. In other words, it should support you, and you don't need to do this and call attention to yourself. So it's a 32-inch cane. Why a 32? Those 4 inches, very, very important, because it still gives you a tremendous reach advantage. So remember how ACSD, the reason for ACSD and the way that that curriculum started was to deal against knife attacks. So if you're here, it's so simple to go from here to here, and now from a two-handed attack, you're dealing with a knife attack. We know what this is all about. Go ahead. Yeah, now you have a tool that I can go from here. So the 32 inches still gives you a significant advantage. You're not losing much there in that way. And then let's look at the actual anatomy of it. The shaft of this cane is octagonal. So you're gonna have some extra striking ridges on there, but also when you choke up on it and you're down here, it also gives you automatically a better grip without having to detract from the cane and add grips to it. This is made out of oak, and it's hard oak. We use a blend and also a combination of polymers, of oils that make it and harden this even more so. The horn is innocuous looking, but it still does damage. It can still do damage. So if you're being grabbed and you put this on bone and you know what you're doing and we show you how to do that, you're still gonna get that quick release response. And then it has this very unique palm rest, right? So this is where we rest our palm when you're walking with this. It's one way of carrying it, but it's also, we know it as a personal protection extension. This feature here, it takes about 2 to 2.5 hours just to put that in there. And don't miss this, the cane shaft would actually give before this joint does. So we've taken a lot of care in the way that we've put this together. Why? Because obviously you're going to use it. One of its uses is that it comes in as a hammer. So wherever, it's wood, right? And wood seeks bone, and wherever you hit with this, it's the same. I'll show you how you use this as a hammer. It also turns into brass knuckles, right? So when you're using this different way, so it adds just a whole nother dimension. Think about American cane self-defense. We've always told you that the horn, the cane, precedes you. Those are tactical principles. The cane is there to protect you, and that doesn't change. We've also told you that the horn is there to point away from you, because the horn there, again, is an extensor, and it's there to protect you. So unless you're, even when you're in this power shot mode, the horn is pointing away. Well, now think about this for a moment. Something's brewing and you pick this up, right? Now, with a flick, by doing flexion, now you have this personal protection extension is out there, and that gets flicked out. So think of boxing. You get to jab with this, and you don't know which way I'm going when I have 2 hands on this cane. You don't know if I'm going up high and retracting because it's such a short tool. The shorter tool, when there's less cane, there's less to retain, which means it makes it easier to retain as well. So I can be quick with it. I can be accurate with it when I put that out there, and I can go either way. I can go with the horn and strike with the horn, but I can also turn that around and go ahead and strike with that palm rest, right, like a hammer. The other thing is I'm striking up high here, but then I move and I go low because I still have that reach advantage. So jabbing, 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 I decide to move out and turn that around. I'm taking out your knee or shin with something that has that produces that extra striking edge. It also serves, think of boxing, right? So you jab with it, right? The strikes, you hook with it. There's one particular shot that we do with this, which is a combination of that power shot number 3, which is the equivalent of a hook and an uppercut, right? So I call it the upper hook of American cane boxing. And the way it's shot out is from here, and you can double and come back up. Now think about that. If you've ever done what I'm doing right now with the standard 36, you know the tensile strength that you need to have to do something like that. What a relief when you have that 32. So that 32 will allow you to target, if I may, just put up some sort of a guard. Right? Look at what happens here. So not necessarily even shooting to, right? But listen, yeah, that doesn't feel, bang, bang, he has to cover up. Even if you're covering up, it's so bony, right? This is so bony. Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, and wrist is bony and form. It's just that when you're putting a little bit of hip there, right? Just like you would with boxing. And it's very tempting to get into the curriculum itself, but all I'm going to tell you about that is that everything you do with this tool, you also do it empty hand as well. So we show you the translation. Going back to this hooking, this also serves as a guideline, as a landmark to let you know exactly how far up you're going to choke up. So now you use it to leverage when you're doing this striking. Now that was very different because when you don't have this, you're just going to the horn, and now your wrist is in a slightly different position, right? It's flexed. Not anymore. This barrier, I can push up against it and it's not going anywhere. It's very solid, and I can do that obviously with either side. You can strike with both to the inside, right? So for when you're moving up in, and of course, anything having to do with a grab, anywhere you put this, and I'm being very gentle, folks, anywhere you put that. He puts his arms around me. Can you tilt this camera a little bit, please? I secure his arms, right? And he has this where he's interlocked. But anywhere I go, if I decide I go to the top, if he straightens out those fingers and I go over here, he's done, right? That horn still, I can also use it to break off of here. And it's so comfortable just to work to the inside. So the functionality of it with this shorter cane. Now what happens is if you had to go into power shot mode and you're in close quarters, you don't have that situation anymore where I'm going to wind up and I'm going to hit things, or it's not going to be effective in there. No, not at all. Boom, there went my first strike down to the bottom. Boom, here it is. Bah, right? All I have to do is flexion my wrist and this is exposed. So if I'm going from here to here, listen, I don't want any trouble. There it is, that's already exposed. So I have the benefit of the octagonal shaft, I have the speed, I have the fact that it's compact. I'm not really sacrificing, it's still an enormous reach advantage. And when I do this, now I have this extra backup right here that is just going to change the game. Think in terms also of retention, right? So that if before you were dealing with somebody here, well, now this actually allows me to turn this around. And you can't just take that cane, right? Go grab that cane with both hands. See, it's exposed now. It's so easy to conceal. He comes to hug me, take me down. Oh, there's that, we call it the Malachi crunch. Oh, look at how fast, right? Because you're just bringing it from here to here, right? So easier to retain by just a simple flick of that wrist and bring it right back. A lot of advantages. By the way, for those of you that train, you know that American Cane Self-Defense specializes in the at-home programs. We train you just like in a class. We get to see you right over. But if you're confined inside, or you're in a hotel room, you're just going to appreciate, and so will the facility itself, because that means less broken lamps, less broken TV screens. You're going to be breaking less things because you don't have, right? It's nice and compact for you to train in here. And so, folks, that is essentially it. It comes in a variety of colors. You're looking at the natural color. It also comes in ox blood red, right? So it gives it that crimson look. You can order it in black, and we also have it in gunstock brown. So the staining for it, no additional cost, which makes for a really, really cool cane. If you go through our website, take a look at some of those pics. We're going to have some there so that you can take a look at it, but you'll see the reviews and just how happy. You hear all the commentary. Joe, this fits like a hand in glove. This is perfect. One thing that I want to say about that, I'm predicting, and I said this from the onset, that this was going to be a game changer for many people. But I never designed this or the curriculum or anything else that goes with it to replace the standard 36. The reason that I say that is because a lot of you are super excited, saying, I'm cutting down, this cane is so awesome, I'm cutting down my 36 and I'm cutting it down to 32, I'm subtracting 4 inches. I don't recommend you do that with all your canes. I don't recommend you do that. You know, you have a boxing cane, you have maybe 2, 3, whatever you like, but you want to be effective with a 32, you want to be effective with a 36, you want to be effective with a 5-foot staff if you have to be effective as well, and our templates allow for that. Training at the end of the day is the equalizer. But now you know what the big deal is with the 32, and but until you have one in your hand, then you'll understand why people are so excited, as we are too here at American Canes Self-Defense. As always, feel free to order from our website. Guys, we still love talking to you. We're high tech, but we're also high touch. Go ahead and give us a call at 800-289-8188. We'll answer any questions that you have regarding canes or anything else for that matter. I'm Joe Robaina of American Cane Self-Defense and American Cane Boxing, with the new boxing cane, the new 32. Order always with confidence from the website. Thanks for watching. Keep caning. Stay safe.